Hey everyone, I'm Twister, and this is Would You Rather, a game where you have to decide between two different scenarios, and the outcome can be quite perilous. Let's see, for our first one, would you rather burn to death or drown? Well, we're just starting this off with a really pleasant tone, aren't we? I would have to say that burning to death would seem like the much more horrible way to go. Drowning, also equally miserable. Oh, none of these are good. I guess I'd go with drown. Let's see what everyone says. A lot more people would prefer to drown. Well, I don't think I should say prefer, but, you know, less of the two evils, maybe? Would you rather work for Apple and know all of their secrets, or work for Google and know all of their secrets? That is an interesting proposition, because you don't know what sort of tech that either of them are working on. I mean, with Apple, you can make the joke, oh, they're just going to release another iPhone or an iPad. Google's doing all kinds of weird stuff. All the companies are owned by Alphabet and all that, and, you know, YouTube. But I prefer to look at Google, I think, because some of the technology that they're coming out with has a wider spread appeal. I'm not saying I have a brand preference, but a lot of different things, the self-driving cars and just all kinds of different technologies. I don't know, what do you think? Oh, that's your opinion, but, you know, whatever. I'll go with Google. And a lot of people did as well. Yeah, 66%. Wow. I'll have to look up to see what they're working on lately. Change my opinion on that, maybe. Would you rather be a hometown hero or be a sea-level celebrity no one really likes? Oh, that's the thing. Big fish, little pond, or out in the world and just sort of mediocre? Well, it's sort of like a proportional to absolute sort of thing. Being a hometown hero, you would be revered, and if you don't leave your city or town, then that would be beneficial. It would be the same as if you were a high status anywhere. But if you were a sea-level celebrity and no one liked you, you'd kind of be like some of those washed-up celebrities that, you know they're popular in some regard because they made it to be a celebrity, but they're sort of looked down upon even though they're successful in a way. That's a weird one. They're successful, and yet we still kind of look down on them. But I think I would prefer the wholesome feeling of being a hometown hero. Let's see. Hometown hero it is! Do I get to wear a cape? I'd like to wear a cape. Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world fluently, or be the best in the world in one category of your choosing? Now, the language thing could be pretty useful, whether you wanted to broker deals between people or if you wanted to use it for your own personal gain. It would break down a lot of barriers, not gonna lie. But being the best in the world in any one category, it could be anything. It could be strength, speed, agility, art, intelligence, and that could be even more lucrative. I think I would choose to be good at one category of my choosing. That's a close one. Wow. Yeah, language is important, but I feel like any category, being able to excel in it and be the absolute best, there's a lot of possibilities. I mean, if you have the highest intelligence or the highest persuasiveness, that could be even more useful, I think. Oh, would you rather be a devil or be a god? That gets into a whole theological thing that I probably don't want to get into, but from a sheer mythology standpoint, I would say that a devil would be kind of like a demon. So you would be maybe up to no good or just doing things for your own sake, whereas a god would be considered more of a benevolent, interactive with the inhabitants of whatever realm that it may be in charge of. So that's a lot of responsibility. I'm gonna try and pretend to be righteous and say that, oh yes, I would be a benevolent god. No. I suppose being a god would be pretty cool. I mean, Zeus is pretty awesome, right? He had some problems, but that'd be pretty cool. Throw a thunderbolt or two. Yeah, people agree. I mean, when you're a demon, probably get a lot more crap for being a demon. You know, people would fear you, which would be good or bad. But you probably get in a lot of other deities' ways, and that probably wouldn't end well for you. I don't know. There's a lot of details that aren't really added into this. Would you rather be a starting NFL kicker in the league for 15 years or be a starting NFL quarterback in the league for 4 years? Now, I personally do not watch any sports ball, so I wouldn't have any real input of any value in this situation. I do seem to understand that a quarterback would be considered a more important person in a team. Yeah, kicker's just mainly there to either do kickoff or to do a field goal, which can be game deciding, but it's sort of, you can find a kicker in any sort of back, I guess. I don't know enough about football to make these decisions. Playing the foosball? I'd probably want to be a quarterback. Better pay, maybe? I don't know. Answer these questions for me in the comments below. I have no idea. Would you rather be married to someone who is, interesting wording, a know-it-all or very ignorant? Now, the idea is that if the person was very ignorant, that you could sort of be considered wise compared to them, or with a know-it-all, you would have someone that's also knowledgeable, but at the same time might hold it against you. That is an interesting situation. Me personally, I would take the know-it-all almost every time, because if I'm having a conversation, I want someone that actually knows what I'm talking about, or at least can somewhat understand it. If someone's just very ignorant, it can be very painful and take a lot of effort to try and convey it. Not everyone has access to the kind of education that I've luckily been able to get. Not saying that I'm smart or anything, but just I'm fortunate. So there are people out there, and that's it. But I would rather marry a know-it-all. And a lot of people seem to think so too. I am apparently on a roll. Part of the majority. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Would you rather pull all of your toenails out or pull out all of your hair? This is a pretty easy one. While they're both really, really unpleasant, I've had both of these happen. Without anesthesia, sometimes with. You ever gotten an ingrown toenail? Yeah, those can get really bad and out of control, and I had to have one of those removed without anesthesia, and that was one of the most painful things I've ever experienced. Pulling your hair out hurts, but it's orders of magnitude less painful, in my opinion, than having your toenails pulled out. Never again, please. So I would rather pull out all of my hair. That was way closer than I expected. What's wrong with you people? Have you ever had your toenails pulled out? Or like your fingernails or anything? I mean, when you have some sort of anesthesia, it's different. But when you have to feel all of that, ugh. No thank you. Would you rather kiss Voldemort or kiss Hitler? I wouldn't want to kiss either of them. Well, one has no nose and the other has an iconic mustache. They're both evil, and one is fictional. So, I just have to say that all that magic kind of does it for me. No. Okay, Voldy, it's you. By a slim margin, apparently. I mean, it helps that he's fictional, but I mean, at one point he looked alright. Was it Tom Riddle? The movie looked okay. I have to guess a dude. I guess it's gonna be, you know. Would you rather save 2 family members or save 10,000 strangers? Oh no, I'm going to look like a horrible person. Oh. 10,000 people I've never met before in my life. Could be good, could be terrible, probably a mix of people. 2 people that I know very well. Family. From a sheer numbers standpoint, needs of the many versus the needs of the few, as much as loving your family members is important, it's kind of a logical choice to save as many as possible. When it's that big of a difference, it's a huge difference. I'd have to say 10,000 strangers. Some people may feel the other way, but I'd have to go with, wow. I was not on the majority side on that. That was close, but still, more people preferred the family member. Would you rather speak every language except the language of the country you're currently in, or speak only the language of the country you're currently in, but know the meaning of every single word in that language? Well, some countries are multilingual, so actually quite a few are. So that would be kind of pointless, because you'd still speak the rest of the languages. However, if you were able to know every single word of a language, you'd be very versatile in your conversing. But I feel like having multiple languages, even if you weren't completely 100% versed in them, would be a lot more useful than having just mastery over a single language. Even if the predominant language of the country that you're in isn't the one you speak. Yeah, because you'll be able to talk with all kinds of people, all kinds of cultures. I mean, there are some countries where it's just kind of one language, and if you don't know it, you don't know it. But most countries are multilingual. I'd say more than not. So I go with every language except the country. Wow, they really disagreed with me on that. Huh. Okay, I think this is the last one. Would you rather be stung by 20 bees in random locations, or have each shin kicked hard 10 times? I've been stung by a bee, singular, and I've been kicked in the shin multiple times by people who know how to kick. And I don't want either of these things. These are both terrible. Which is less terrible, though? Bees. Or kicked in the shin. Bees suck. I mean, they're important. We need to, have bees to make sure that we pollinate everything and we have food in the future. So I'll leave the bees be, and I will get kicked in the shin hard 10 times. And hopefully my legs will not break. And up. Yep. A few more people agree with me. Yeah, getting kicked in the shin, that can really be a bad time. But it really depends, too, on what they're wearing to kick me in the shin with. And if it's like with their foot or their shin. It's a whole variety of ways that can go. With a bee, it's pretty much you get stung. Some in terrible places. That could be really bad. I'm glad I chose the one I did. Well, in any case, that was Would You Rather. I hope you enjoyed it. I will leave a link in the description below if you want to give this a shot for yourself. And otherwise, have a nice day. Later.